Hello, everybody. It's Randy Hilarski here, coming at you from Acapulco, Mexico. Tonight, I want to talk about a subject that is near and dear to my heart. It is sales. I got out of the Navy in 1999, and shortly thereafter, I got a job at Sprint. And when I was working at Sprint, I went through some great training, and I began reading books by Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I just fell in love with the whole concept of getting into sales. I was a nurse when I was in the Navy, but nurse for me was always a paycheck. It was never something I really enjoyed, but sales was exciting to me. And I have built a business over the years. My wife and I, we have a very successful online business, and we do marketing for crypto companies, cryptocurrency companies. And tonight I was watching a live stream by some of my friends, and they were talking about Hex and how the community could better communicate online, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else, and how being abrasive isn't helping. And I think that as people learned their best traits as a salesperson, they could better prepare their pitch and maybe take the emotions out of it and learn how to talk to people better. Sales is something you need in everything, whether it's your relationships, whether it's at your job. I don't care if you serve coffee. Serving coffee is still a sales position, folks. You can upsell that person. Look at McDonald's. They teach upselling for everybody who walks in the store. Even if I'm a nurse and I'm giving a patient some medication, maybe they say no to me. Well, it takes a little bit of reassurance. It takes coercion. It takes a little bit of everything to get that patient to take their medication. You don't just open their mouth and throw it down their throat. Even as working in a psych unit, I never did that. We didn't have to throw it down their throat because we talked to the people. All right. So the name of the book is Sales Dogs. You don't have to be an attack dog to explode your income. It's by Blair Singer. He's one of the Rich Dad advisors of Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was founded by Robert Kiyosaki. I've read all of Robert Kiyosaki's books up until about 2012. And this is probably the last one I read, but it was super, super special to me because I like sales. And in 2016, I had the opportunity of helping an entrepreneur group in Panama. I lived in Panama for 10 years. They were coming up and about to start their businesses. So we had like a 13-week course to help them launch. They started their corporation, legal stuff. And one of the positions that I took was teaching them about sales, because sales is such an important function in life. You really need to learn how to sell. When I first met my wife, Annabelle, she goes, "Oh, I can't do sales. I don't want to do sales." I said, "But you got me. That is sales, right?" She sold herself enough in a good way that she landed me, right? So think about the next time you meet a new guy or a new woman and you're pitching yourself. Well, there's ways you can improve that. And I think this book is a great one to get started with. So I did this presentation in 2016. I made this slide deck. I've updated it a little bit and added some new links and everything at the end of the presentation. But I hope you enjoy it. And I really love sales. And I think that everyone should learn about it today. It seems like customer service and sales is really losing its charm. Let's bring it back. All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. Sales dogs. So we have the Bassett Hound, we have the Poodle, we have the Chihuahua, we have the Pit Bull, and we have the Golden Retriever. And the first one we're going to start out with is Golden Retriever. Everybody loves the Golden Retriever. All right. Their characteristics are they're willing to do anything. They give excellent customer service. They're extra friendly. They'll kill people with kindness, and they're helpful by nature. Their strengths: they build strong relationships. They create a subconscious obligation from the client to return the favor. Advantages: clients keep coming back. Obtains more referrals. The best analogy, the best type of person I could think of for this would be my barber, right? I used the same barber for many years when I was living in Rochester, New York. I would leave Rochester, but I'd come back, and I always go back to the same barber because he was such a great friend when it came to not just cutting my hair, but he would talk about anything. It was like we had a relationship more than just him cutting my hair. I felt like he was somebody who I could tell things to. This is your golden retriever salesperson. They tend to do really well. Now, in car sales, you're less likely to see a golden retriever just because the nature of the beast. It's a little bit more aggressive. I sold cars. I was a master Mazda salesman, and I was a master Volkswagen salesman. And I loved my car sales job after I got tired of nursing. But finding golden retrievers was not something you see in car sales. Even when I got out of the Navy in '99, my first sales job was at Sprint, and I did an amazing job. I was one of the top people selling phones for Sprint in the state of Ohio, and I was either one or two every month for the year of 1999, and it was a great experience. It was my first sales position, and then we had a great training and all that kind of stuff, and that's really took me down this road. But I just want to say that golden retrievers are really special. You're not going to find too many of them. They're just special people overall. All right, and I don't have to go into it much because you can see the characteristics of these types of people, and they're just really genuine and absolutely amazing. Okay, on to the next one. Pit bull. Now in car sales, you're going to see a lot of pit bull characteristics. They're aggressive, they're fearless, they're fierce, they're bold, they're strong, and does not take no for an answer. Strengths, they're self-confident. All actions lead to a sales close. Turns objections into an opportunity. Will not let the client leave without confirmation of the sale. Advantages, high volume of sales transactions. Keeps on selling when appearing pushy. Now, pit bulls are not bad. There is a time and a place for a pit bull in sales. There's a time and a place for you as a person who's learning about sales or in relationships to use some of the tactics of the pit bull to get things done, to close that sale, or to get what you want, right? It's just using it at the right time. If you abuse it, people will think you're pushy. If you use it strategically, then people will think you're just an amazing salesperson. You're very communicative. You know how to get things done. You're the go-getter, So be careful with using these tactics, but in some jobs, in some professions, it's just, you have to have it. Or I've heard that term, the dog-eat-dog world. Well, if you're not a pit bull and you're in car sales, I'm sorry, you're going to have a tough time. I never excelled at car sales with my numbers because I had to go up against other pit bulls. But when I went to a smaller car dealership, when I was the only salesperson selling Mazdas, I crushed it because I got to be who I am and build rapport and relationships with all the clients that came through the door. So pick and choose the times to bring out the pit bull. All right. Love it, but for me, pick and choose. Chihuahua. Now the Chihuahua, the characteristics, they're technical wizards. They're extremely bright. They're passionate about the product. Strengths, they know the product by heart, plans ahead of time, can talk to any client and answer any question. Advantages, always ahead of the game, values accuracy, can put up detailed presentations. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of Chihuahuas in my life. This is another one that's very, it goes right back to your personality traits, right? So these are the people that know the ins and outs of everything. We call them know-it-alls, right? In sales, there's the know-it-all Chihuahuas too. They can be good too. They're like a walking encyclopedia. I'm sure you've had some friends over your life that you said, "Hey, Bob's a walking encyclopedia." Well, these are your Chihuahuas. These are the people that, any question you have, they're going to have an answer. They're really good to have around. I remember when I was selling Mazdas that there was this young man. He was in college and he worked for us part-time. And I think he only worked like 2 days a week. And Saturdays was the day that he'd come in always. And whenever I had a technical question about the car that I didn't know, I would just say, "Hey, come on over, explain this." And he would come over and he would just right down to the nuts and bolts and the RPMs and all those kind of things, because my sales type, I didn't need that kind of information. But for him to sell, that was his best. So I would just pass the sale along to him. If I had a person who also was looking for that type of information, I said, hey, come take care of this. And he would do it for me. All right. So Chihuahuas, they're great to have around. Bassett Hound. Characteristics: charming, constant, loyal, and trustworthy. Knows the art of building rapport. Strikes on the client's emotions. Knows how to charm his way to every client. Advantages: builds strong relationships with clients. Always have a humbler approach when selling. Can win hearts that no one else can. Guys, this is my type. This is what I did. I was the salesperson that everybody who hated the person that was coming through the door, oh, I can't deal with that person, they would send them my way. I was if I couldn't help that person, there was no one else that could. I was just really good. Look, my background is nursing. That's just the skill set that I have. That's my personality. I'm really loyal. I build a really good rapport with everyone around me. That's just how I've lived my life. And when it came to sales, this is the type of sales dog I was. For me, it was all about the rapport. I knew within a few minutes of meeting people whether I was going to be able to sell them either a phone or a car, or if they were my patient at the hospital, whether I was going to get along. I know it sounds funny when I talk about nursing stuff, but believe me, I don't care what job you do. Sales is an integral part of what it is. All right. And today, with my internet business, my wife and I handle all the talking with the clients. That's my job. I'm the one who asks for the close. I'm the one who close when I say, the finished deal. And I'm the one who asks for the money and all that kind of stuff, because I build the rapport. All right. Next dog. Next dog is the Poodle. Characteristics: luxurious, extremely well connected, elite, center of attention, vain and self-conscious. Strengths: power dresser, has the most extensive and exclusive list of clients, knows the market very well. Advantages: can sell first-class items, can impress any clients. Look, we see these guys on TV all the time. Perfect example would be the mom in 2.5 Men. She was the Poodle sales type. You won't meet a lot of them. The only time I saw them in my career was at the Mercedes dealership or BMW dealership. That's where the Poodle sales people tend to work. Since I worked at Volkswagen and Mazda, they're more Volkswagen is the people's car, so we were just more regular types of folks. And I'm sure you've come across them if you're in luxury real estate, luxury cars, or the Gucci store, the Breitling watch store. Those are the types of people that tend to work in those positions. Also, you'll see them a lot in network marketing and the high levels of network marketing. I don't know why it is. Maybe because of the bling bling and all that kind of stuff. But they also have that term, "fake it till you make it." So who knows if they're real poodles or not. All right. So what I want to get across to everybody is we are all a mix. We're not just one type of dog. We are a multiple breeds within us that we form to become a salesperson. When I say a salesperson, every single one of you are a salesperson. So learn to adopt techniques of the other sales dogs. Don't be afraid. Have you ever seen a dog who is scared to ask for food? Have fun. Sales is the backbone of your business. Practice makes perfect. I don't know how I can reiterate it more. If say, for example, if you're a pit bull and you want to increase your sales, learn some of the other skill sets within the sales dog book. Learn to build rapport. Learn to know more information about the product, like a Chihuahua. Learn to be friendly and more friendly, I should say, like Golden Retriever. Now learn a little bit of each of the sales tactics to help increase your sales, to help spread the word. You know, like I said earlier, the live stream I was watching was my friends from Hex, and we were noticing something that was happening within the community, and people being a little bit rough around the edges when they get a little bit of pushback, and you don't need to do that. We can learn to talk to people in a friendly way, and help change opinions and minds, or maybe you're arguing with your spouse. This is a great book to read. So, follow up. This is a subject that is, in this day and age, I just don't see people doing it. I think people are just lazy, or maybe they were never taught it. But thanks to car sales, I was taught it. 48% of salespeople do not follow up. 48%. Imagine. I mean, you walk into somewhere and you buy a car. Maybe the commission is $350 or $500 or even $1,000 for luxury cars, and 48% of those salespeople don't follow up. You just spent hours with that person, and you never follow up with them. That's a shame. It really is. 25% never make a second, or 25% make a second contact and stop. Now, I'm guilty. That's where I would go. I would never go past the second contact. Guilty as charged. All right. Follow up was not my strong suit, but I would send emails. I was lazy. 12% only make 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. You hear that? 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Let me say it again. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. 64% of companies admit to no follow-up strategy. Salespeople and sales managers don't know how to follow up with a customer. Those numbers are mind-blowing. Now, it's also the same in dating, right? I have never had problems in the dating department. I'm 6'2", 290 pounds, and I'm not the prettiest guy in the world. But I've never had problems when I was dating. If I saw somebody that I liked, I would communicate with them. I would befriend them as any good Bassett Hound would. And over time, I would try to find a way to date that person. And it was a technique that worked great for me. Instead of being the pit bull style and saying, "Hey, let's go home." No, that was never my tactic. It didn't work for me. So my tactic was to take it slow. And, they say that 80% of sales are made between the 5th and the 12th contact. Yeah, bro, that's how it works. That's how it works. You build that rapport. You become, you get to know that person. I know salespeople that used to take notes when they were talking to the clients. Like, they would know their kids' names of the client. They would know hobbies of the client. They would know what they did for a living and those kind of things. So when the next time they called them, they would say, "Hey, how's your son doing in baseball this week?" Those kind of things. Yeah, that's a little bit. There's a little bit of deception, I think, because they had to take the notes. But the clients, all they care is that you care about them, that you took enough time to write that down, and they see right through it most of the time, but they still like it because you're feeding into their ego. It's just how life is. All right, so start to learn how to follow up. I don't care what you do in life. I don't care if it's relationships. Just learn to follow up. How to increase follow-up by your team. Make yourself or your sales team accountable. implement sales training, continuing education of the sales team, use a tool to prompt your sales team to follow up, use motivational contests. When I worked for Volkswagen, we were really good at this. We had a sales meeting every, I think it was Wednesday afternoon. Maybe it was Friday afternoon. Doesn't matter. But we would have this hour-long training, and it was fabulous. Every week we'd talk about some part of this sales, and then about every 8 weeks or so, Volkswagen would send me places to all over the U.S. to go have classes, and these classes would last 2 or 3 days, and whether it's talking about the new models or going to where they're building the cars or just about sales techniques, and just fabulous, fabulous training. Hats off to Volkswagen. You guys were outstanding. So, get your team or your community or whatever it is. This is for the people that own businesses and like my community at Hacks. Come on, guys. I'm here to motivate you. All right. So the name of the book is Sales Dogs. You don't have to be an attack dog to explode your income. It's a Rich Dad series book available on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description here on YouTube, and it'll also be on library.tv, lbry.tv, odyssey.tv. I'm going to put that link there as well. I want you all to start opening up accounts over there at the other video platform, because it is decentralized and you don't have to worry about losing your channel. And you can connect your YouTube, and it automatically send your videos over to library, and you get to make some money using library, unlike on YouTube, unless you're a partner. All right. So check out my website, randycrypto.com. On Twitter, I'm at Randy Hilarski. My wife is at Annabelle Hilarski. If you are coming down to Mexico anytime soon, you're coming to the Acapulco area, look me up, and I'm happy to meet up for some beers or coffee or whatever. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. Ciao.